the first mistake that I made, that a lot of people within the community are making, which is drilling of boreholes after your building project has been completed. Now, I am not going to encourage anybody at all to drill their borehole after they have completed their building project for a few reasons. First of all, the reason why you are going to avoid this is because when you started your building project, drilling the borehole was way cheaper than when you completed, especially since many people use quite a period of time to complete their building projects. So let's assume that you started your building project and it took you 4 years to build and complete. Within that 4 year span, you are buying water. Because from your foundation level, you are buying water, you are mixing your cement, your concrete, and you keep buying water for 4 good years. So one.
First question for you though.
What's your question?
Well, how did you estimate the total cost of the building? I mean, when you're building the house.
How did I estimate the total cost of building a house? So what you need to do if you are new, and it's a really good question because what I see is that people just start. They want to build like maybe a 2-bedroom house. How many bedrooms would you want to build?
4.
4-bedroom house. It's a really nice ambition. I don't envy you at all. So many people want to build a 4-bedroom house, but they don't have any idea how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
In fact, one guy told me that he could literally use like 20 to 50,000 to build a 3-bedroom house. And this was just last year. And I told him, it is not possible. So for you to get the estimate, right, you first of all need to get your architectural drawings.
Okay.
And your structural drawings and all that, because that is going to guide the overall design of the house.
Okay.
How it's going to look like, what's the depth of the foundation, where are the columns going to be, what are the sizes of the room, right?
Okay.
How high is your ceiling going to be, what kind of roof are you using, where are the plumbing, the electricals, all those things. Once you get your architectural drawings, you need to get a quantity surveyor who is going to translate the vision of the drawings into how much it is going to cost you to put it together. So we usually do it like in phases. So the foundation is one phase. So we give you a total estimate of the foundation. So maybe your 4-bedroom house, your foundation could be like 60, 70, even 100,000 or 120. Then from there, we start putting up the block work for the ground floor, etc. We flow it, etc. So the quantity survey, I'll give you a bill of quantities.
And what was like your biggest expense, like your biggest unexpected expense, and how did you handle it?
Wow, my biggest unexpected expense was the floor, the concrete slab that I have in my house. So let me just show you the house, right? And then you can see the concrete slab over here in this shot, right? That's the floor over there. And this, just that one that you are seeing for like half of the house, right? It cost me well over 40,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow. What year was this?
This was just last year. And it cost me over 40,000 cedis. So that is one. But my main point is that when you are building, you need to ensure that you start your borehole. It makes a lot of sense to start your borehole at the beginning, right? Because in many places in the remote areas of Ghana and in most African countries I've been to, water is a problem. So access to pipe-borne water is a huge problem. So many times what happens is you buy a water tank on site, and you get maybe some barrels. Then there are these guys who sell water to the communities, and they can have maybe 3 water tanks on the track. Now, when I started the building project, 1 water tank was like 70 cedis. So when they are bringing the 3, that's 210 cedis. And it can get finished in 2 weeks. So you even assume that you use 200 every month, and your building project lasted you 4 years. In a year, 200 times 12 is what? 2,400. So times another 4 years, you are looking at almost 10,000 cedis. And you could have used that money to drill a borehole.
Yeah.
I remember when I started the building project and I went to ask of the cost of a borehole. Around that time, it was 6,000 cedis, right? And I completed in, let's say, give or take 3 years.
Okay.
By the time I finally did this borehole that you are seeing on your screen, I paid close to 14,000 cedis.
Okay.
You understand?
That's crazy,
And
though.
if you used so much water throughout your building project, then it made a lot of sense to, start the borehole in the first place. But that is not even the main reason why you should start your borehole at the start of the building project and not wait till you have completed. The main reason is that this borehole machine,
Okay.
the impact, the kind of vibration that it does, right? That drill over there, it shakes the whole area. And so what you are going to get is that your walls may crack. I've seen people's walls cracking because the vibration is like an earthquake. I was here when they were doing it. In fact, I filmed that bureau that you saw myself. And your walls will crack. And some people's walls have even fallen. The good thing for me, though, is I used a lot of expensive material. So, for example, the floor slabs that I was telling you about, I used 52.5N cement.
Okay.
I didn't use 42.5. I didn't use 32. I used the most expensive one.
Make sure that it is.
You understand? And it was able to withstand the borehole. It was just where the drill is
Okay.
that is kind of like a little cracked, and even it's not broken completely.
Okay. Wait. Question. So, what factors influence the cost and depth and the location? Because I'm seeing that you're doing it at the gates, right? So, what factors influence you to do it at the gates?
Okay,
And then
really,
also
really
with
good
your,
question.
With your water quality, like decide, because you said there are some guys that bring water.
Yeah.
So, what factors influence that?
Okay, so Etonam is asking what factors influence where you drill your borehole and all that. Now, if you are just joining, Etonam is a new member of the team. He's a Gen Z, and he represents a lot of young people who are now coming to start their building projects. And so he's asking all the questions that many people who are now starting would ask. And if you are watching, please comment where you are watching from and some of the mistakes that you yourself made so that we can all learn from it, whether you're watching the live or the replay. Now, when it comes to drilling the borehole, just to answer your question, right? First of all, they will come and then test to see where the water is in the ground
Okay.
and how far they need to drill to be able to get the water.
Okay.
So they have machines that can determine all those things. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah. It makes
Now, for me also, because the nature of my land is very sloped, and they were able to find water right there at the gate, it was pretty easy and a no-brainer for them to drill at that point because the slope is very, very high. So Hamza Wahabu says, I'm watching from the Netherlands. Hamza, how are you doing? Hero the Legend says, great work, bro. Thank you. So that essentially is. And then look at the level of dust that you are seeing on your screen. You are going to create a lot of nuisance for your neighbors and things like that. Because if you started in the bush and it took you maybe 4 years to, complete, by the time you are completing, your neighbors will probably be around.
Be around, yeah.
And imagine you are creating all this dust. Or imagine you are living in your house and somebody comes, builds, and then does his borehole at the last point, and the whole neighborhood gets so dusty.
Yeah, I'll not be happy. Like,
At all. And then even you yourself, right? When you build and you come and do your borehole at the last minute, the kind of cleaning you need to do
clean,
inside,
yeah.
it's mad.
Because looking at the video, it looks foggy.
It's terrible. It was terrible. It was so terrible. It was like they are constructing the Nsawan Pokwasi Highway. It was so terrible. Frank Ankra says, watching you from USA, Maryland. Greetings to the ABH family. King Bash says, watching from South Orange, New Jersey, USA. King Kingdom says, can you recommend a borehole company? Yes. So where I live, I don't know where your site is. If you are in Sunyani and things, I don't know some. But in Accra, if you want a borehole company, you can send us an email. Email address is abh at abhcollabs.com. So it's on the screen, abh at abhcollabs.com. So that is the very first mistake that I made that I see a lot of people make it. They don't want people the caretakers to use their water and all those things. Charlie, just do it at the beginning. Thomas says, so no water truck to tamp down the dust. No water truck. But maybe when you are doing yours, you could kind of get a water truck. You could get a water truck too, but the kind of dust that's going to come there, you literally can't avoid it. So try and do it at the early stage of your building project. Now let's move to the second mistake that a lot of people make.
Before you move, right? How often do you do servicing and maintenance for the boreholes?
Okay, so I've been using my borehole for close to a year now, and I haven't had need for it. If anyone has done their borehole for like maybe an extended period of time, 10 years, 20 years, and all that, you can comment and let us know, right? When I spoke to the engineers who came to drill, though, they said the pump, that's the one that gets issues a lot. Oh, yeah. And my mother-in-law's place, her pump, which is underground as well, got like bent out, and they needed to replace it. But they've had that pump for about 10 years.
Oh, okay. So it took them up to 10 years.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. But anyone else who has a different experience, please comment and let us know. So let's move to the very second mistake that a lot of people do. So today we went to some places, right?
Yeah.
And those places were like waterlogged areas. Yeah. And a lot of places in Ghana especially, the land is waterlogged. I've been to Nigeria and other places too. They have a lot of waterlogged areas, clay, soil, and stuff like that, right? Now, when you get to a land which is waterlogged, usually it is cheaper, right? Because a lot of people don't like it. The value of the land is cheap. Don't just buy it and start building, right? Get a good engineer to come on site and help you. Usually, you need to do a lot of filling. And after doing the filling, you also need to raise your foundation. Now, what I see is some people don't like raising their foundation because a lot of materials are going to go into it, right? So instead of elevating their foundation, they just have the foundation at the ground level. Okay. Now, what happens is when it rains, the place is going to get flooded. And even apart from raising your foundation, things like raising your gate, your compound, is really important, especially when the street in front of your house or the road in front of your house has not yet been constructed. Oh. Yeah. So, like, this is my house that we are seeing, right? This is my house that we are seeing. You can see that we have raised the gate by like 3 or 4 courses of blocks. And that's really, really important. When I was doing it, I told my neighbors that, Charlie, you guys would need to also go and raise your gate. Because if you don't do it, what's going to happen is that your house, when it rains, and it's a bit of a slope, water will move from my property to your own. Because naturally, water moves downwards.
I feel like leading to my next question: how you avoid runoff water entering your neighboring properties and neighboring houses?
So everybody needs to elevate it, especially if the road leading to your house or the road in front of your house has not been constructed. Yeah. Because once they are constructing, it's going to add additional inches to the road.
That's because you see, so your house is on like a hilly area, right? And your compound is raised. Mm-hmm. So water is from your house, it comes down to where it's downhill.
Exactly. And especially even for those who are like on the plain even surface, you want to make sure that you raise your compound, your foundation, and everything, if your road is not constructed. Because once they come, they put all the various layers, right, on it, and then they finally come and apply whether the coal tar or asphalt or whatever it is. It's going to get thicker and higher, and then the water will move into your house. So that's why you see a lot of places in Accra, after the road is constructed, the inhabitants of those low-lying areas have issues.
But then how do you determine like the heights to raise your compound?
Based on the nature of the land, the elevation, the terrain, and so many other things, and the fact that your road is not constructed, make provision for it. Okay. And again, you should always buy your land when it's in the rainy season. So that when you go into the area, you see the kind of challenges you are going to face. after you have purchased and you've built and lived in.
Okay.
Do you understand? Even if you are buying a house, ideally you should go and check it when it has rained.